The travelers will be evaluated by and large by the heavenly awareness as they have advanced all through the series, and they are awfully uncertain of whether they have done what's needed to endure this extended and convoluted test. Despite having Cal and his Sapphire on their side, have they done enough to tip the balance in their favor? Angelina and some of the other passengers are still actively engaging in heinous deeds. Let's look at this shocking and unlikely series finale. The day of death finally arrives in episode 2 of Manifest Season 4. The morning after Cal's death, Michaela, Ben, Sandy, and TJ wake up clutching their chests and gasping for air. While exploring the forest, Aiton, Olive, and TJ come across a petrograph. The original inscription has been covered by the class of 1999 engraving, which clearly states that it is for passengers. The group believes that the solution may be in the photographs their mother took while they were already here. Olive, Aiton, Jared, and Drea return to the house Angelina had previously occupied after saying their final goodbyes with tears, only to discover the pictures hidden in the attic. When Jared and Drea arrive to clean the house, Angelina and her backers are gone. They understand. Despite the fact that they have packed themselves into a van and are on their way somewhere, Adrian and Egan stop by to mess with their vehicle and delay their departure. Adding to the sense of impending doom, Andrea and Sandy hear a news story about active volcanoes that are spreading across the globe and ready to erupt at any time. The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together. After seeing Cal's Sapphire Beacon, the remaining passengers, with the exception of Angelina's crew, congregate around the mountain. Time to assess the explorers. The passengers spend the day together, demonstrating how they have united as a family despite the most challenging and unexpected circumstances. They are prepared to conclude their torturous, life-altering journey as soon as night falls. Short Ben's optimism was cut when a tremor caused the fissure where Sandy had placed the Ark fragment to reopen. They watch as Flight 828's infamous stream ascends from behind the liquid stone. They know right away that Cal is in charge, which gives them direction. At last, the travelers begin revealing the airplane as they get ready to condemn their form of the scales. Drea, Olive, and Jared go back to the house and look at pictures of birds in an effort to find the writing on the rock. Luckily, Olive's grandma was an expert of association, arranging and marking her photos as indicated by the sort of bird. Olive notificationed the silver drake when they drilled down the leftover assortments. Al-Zur has alluded to the airplane in his works as the silver-winged serpent, a different way to say a mythical beast. In fact, everything is connected. They quickly locate the inscription, which reads, "Forgiveness lightens the heart Pixlac." Olive then teaches them about mythology, explaining that some people believe that hearts are being measured against feathers rather than against good or bad. They need to learn to smile more despite the significant positive actions they have taken over the past 5.5 years. However, what does the final portion of the inscription represent? A C represents Al-Zur's. Yet the excess bits of the jigsaw direct Olive to peruse the pictures they've accumulated throughout their years-long examination. They find that the P represents page, and the IXL is the page number when she takes Al-Zur's diary. There is a picture of Ben saving Olive from the fire from the first season when Olive finds the page. But what if Olive didn't exist at all in the painting? Olive comes to the conclusion all of a sudden. Angelina is the focus of this. In the artwork, Ben can be seen carrying Angelina. He should exonerate Angelina for killing effortlessness to live. Will he make the decision to forgive Angelina despite Olive's pleas? Or on the other hand, will he at long last upset the raft? Olive, on the other hand, doesn't have to worry much as Drea gives birth and Eden looks to her for comfort as the earth shakes all around them. Will Angelina harm everything again? As they make their way back to the summit, Ben, Mick, and Sunny are still assisting passengers with boarding. Angelina, on the other hand, is not particularly excited when she reaches the location. When her gunpowder fires a warning shot into the air, everyone stops. Angelina asks that everybody leave her Ark since she accepts that it was just planned for herself as well as her allies to get through the Day of Judgment, similarly as. At the point when they overlook her and go on board, Angelina is troubled. As she endeavors to demand that the others withdraw immediately, she directs her rush to board the boat as Paul and his gun stay close by. Angelina threatens to use her Sapphire abilities to get everyone else off the ship now that they're all aboard. Angelina, on the other hand, is rendered helpless as the enchanted Sapphire light flits and fades. Paul is persuaded to join the cause by Mick, who takes advantage of this opportunity. Angelina then grabs the rifle and fires it at the three of them, preventing them from boarding. When there is a tremor, she stumbles and is thrown back. However, as she descends, she accidentally fires the weapon, hitting Sandy in the forearm. While Bethany informs Mick that the amulet requires her to sit in the pilot's seat, Sandy makes her way into the aircraft in Angelina's absence. Ben and Angelina are the only two remaining. Ben gets the gun and hollers at Angelina about how she took everything from him while pointing the rifle at her. Angelina answers with a greater amount of her particularly favored one jibber-jabber, guaranteeing that she is the main individual who genuinely grasps distress. She says that God gave her the sapphire, so Ben tries to convince her once more that she is the same as the other passengers. Ben knows that Ben lowers the weapon when he uses power and finally lets Angelina talk about killing Grace. She says that she never intended to and that she regrets it every day during their brief conversation. There isn't a moment to spare as a close-by magma blast tosses them both back. Angelina has a head wound and his blood all over her face, but Ben is in excellent health. She tells Ben to leave her alone and return to the glow before he lifts her up while she is asleep and carries her on the plane. An amulet calls Mick back to the cockpit. The glow can be seen in the distance. Nonetheless, they will pursue it this time. Because the plane is covered in light, they might think they are no longer in the air as they approach it. Mick glances back at the other passengers as the plane door opens. After leaving, they go together to the airport. However, they are not in the world they were just in. It was April 7, 2013, when their plane was supposed to land for the first time. They act as though the previous 11 years have never happened, donning the same clothes as in the first episode of the series. Nevertheless, survivors remember everything. They are waiting for Grace and Karen, who are both still healthy and thriving. Ben and Akela are the children of Karen. Ben and Akela rush over to their loved ones when they see them again and give them hugs. They stop when Grace asks about Cal, but she sees a young Cal exit the plane and give S-on-V her computer, even though he doesn't know who she is. He might once again be a child, free of the weight of the world. Ben informs Grace that Cal will recover from S-on-V. S-on-V gets another chance to build a life with Alex as the passengers, reconnect with their loved ones, and pick up where they left off, and Mick has another difficult conversation to end his relationship with Jared. Vance shows him how to start a new investigation into Flight 828 while they are watching this, and Angelina's father is clearly upset about her alleged abduction. Mick reunites with Zeke before the episode's conclusion, who, as she discovered earlier in the season, is a taxi driver. She gets ready to tell him everything as soon as the two engage in conversation. Grace also asks Ben about what happened on the plane because he seems to have changed a little and it's clear that he will tell her what happened. It is the ultimate opportunity for a second chance and a happy ending for all of the travelers who deserved it and did not die on